Very early on, particularly in Massachusetts, Governor Andrew would like to have a regiment of Irish Americans, and the 9th Massachusetts is formed under the leadership of Thomas Cass, and it's the idea of having this Irish American identified unit. When the 9th Massachusetts marches off to war, it is presented with flags, not only the United States flag, but a regimental flag that is green. It's Irish green, it has Irish symbols, but also mixes onto that American symbols. So you'll see the Irish harp, but if you look at the strings are red, white, and blue. And there's different sayings on the flag and symbols on the flag that blend this Irish identity, but also that it's a United States regiment. And so when they meet with Governor Andrew, presents them with these flags, when they parade in front of him, he addresses the men and he says, remember that you are American citizens. He explicitly says, today we know no distinction between the native born and these new Americans. And going forward, that plays out. I think that the soldiers internalize that. There's this unifying moment when they're going and becoming a part of this grander national army, when they're going and seeing Washington, D.C. and marching past, sailing past Mount Vernon. Seeing these sights helps to instill a sense of American identity. Ethnic leaders, such as the next colonel of the 9th Massachusetts, Colonel Guiney, Thomas Francis Marr, they give speeches and they write and they think about how this service is blending an Irish identity, but also assimilating it into the United States. We see this literally on the battlefield, certain times before an Irish Catholic regiment is going to go into battle, getting absolution. The most famous incident is Father Corby, before the Irish Brigade charges into battle on July 2nd, the second day of Gettysburg. The men receive the act of contrition. You also have the Irish American press, whether it's reporting speeches from Marr, whether it's the pilot publishing articles, calling for repeal in Massachusetts of the so-called two-year amendment. And this is part of a broader dialogue that's going on within the Irish American community, talking about how nativism gets killed because of Irish American participation in the Civil War. The pilot is running articles saying you have thousands of Irish Americans who are under arms defending the Union. You have Thomas Francis Marr gives a speech. He's recruiting for the Irish Brigade. He gives a speech at the Music Hall in Boston, now the site of the Orpheum Theater, where he says, Know Nothingism is dead. He's standing in Boston, where one of the hearts of Know Nothingism a few years earlier says Know Nothingism is dead. That's part of a bigger picture where being Irish American is being integrated into being an American citizen. And we see that play out after the war, where people were concerned about Irish Americans and feared their presence and were concerned. We actually see this level of support among the native population for Finneyism, for an Irish nationalist movement. And we see rallies all across the country, not just in Boston, not just in Faneuil Hall and places like that, but all across the country that favor Finneyism. And so we really see this sea change. It's not complete squelching of nativism. Nativism is not gone forever. But we do see that as a result of Irish American military service, we see changes in both the practice of citizenship and the social side of citizenship, but also the legal side of citizenship. We see